Hey guys, welcome back to another Retrospect review. This week we are talking about Season 1, which is the very first full season of Ninjago. For me, I consider the season to be the golden age of Ninjago, as, it kind of showed how the ninja got together, explained a lot of essential concepts, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So, as per usual, we'll be talking about the characters, the villain, the plot, and since this is a full season, we'll be talking about every individual episode briefly. The first episode of the season is Rise of the Snakes, same name as the season. This is an awesome season premiere. We get an introduction to Lloyd Garmadon, who will later become the Green Ninja, and we also get to see Scale's character and the prophecy of the Green Ninja. Right from the beginning, Kai really wants to become the Green Ninja. So that is some really cool development. Now moving on, next episode is Home, which is a Zane focused episode. Home definitely set up Zane's story in the season. Zane had a big role in season 1. But I really love the way that Home was, because it introduced the Falcon. It also introduced Zane being, it re-emphasized the idea that Zane was different than the others. We also see the Destiny's Bounty. Next episode is Snakebit, which is a really funny episode, since Ed and Edna is due debut. So that's really, really funny, because they are really funny characters, and we get to see their interactions with Jay, and the Destiny's Bounty becomes operational. Next episode is Never Trust the Snake, which is where the main villain of the season, Pythor, debuts. Never Trust the Snake is an amazing episode, very funny. The relationship between Lloyd and Pythor ultimately leads to Lloyd getting betrayed and Lloyd getting turned to the good side. Now after that we have, Can of Worms, which is where Lloyd uses the power of rumors to turn Zane's suit pink, which is still an iconic episode. That's still something iconic about about Ninjago, Pink Zane. It's so funny. But yeah, moving on. Next is the Snake King. This is where stuff starts to get really serious, with Pythor declaring himself as the destined leader who will revive the Great Devourer, as quoted directly from the episode's description. This episode is really cool. We do get to see Samurai X's identity. Lloyd gets captured in this episode. And yeah, that's about it. Next episode is TikTok, which is my personal favorite from the season. This is where we learn a lot of major backstory. We learn Garmadon's backstory and how he turned evil. We also learn Zane's backstory, and we learn that he's an android. We also see Zane unlock his true potential, and later in the episode, Garmadon returns. Next episode is Once Bitten, Twice Shy, which emphasizes the relationship between Jay and Nia. They go out on a pretty awkward date, and then Jay unlocks his true potential. Next episode is The Royal Blacksmith, which is a little break in the action you can consider. The episode is pretty slow until the end, of course. But it introduces Cole's father, and it heals that relationship between Cole and his father. Cole unlocks his true potential. Next episode is The Green Ninja, which also is one of my favorite episodes from the season. This episode is really cool because it has the return of Garmadon into Ninjago, and Garmadon, he reunites with the ninja, I guess you could say. So that's pretty cool, because Kai also has a rivalry with Garmadon. He attempts to kill Garmadon? He fights Garmadon. But yeah, this is the episode where Kai unlocks his true potential, and Lloyd is revealed as the Green Ninja. Next episode is All of Nothing, which is a pretty action-packed episode. Ninja try to infiltrate the Serpentine base, but are captured. Lloyd comes to save the day. Of course, that doesn't go well. And yeah, Garmadon Ex Machina arrives with the Skulkin army, and that's a pretty cool fight. Next episode is Rise of the Great Devourer. Very cool fight, or a very cool episode. Love the whole Serpentine train element. And yeah, the Great Devourer gets awakened, and Pythor is presumed dead. The season finale is Day of the Great Devourer, which is where the ninja fight the Great Devourer. Garmadon returns after being absent for an episode, and he pretty much kills the Great Devourer, but he steals the golden weapons. See, I love that catch. It set up the next season perfectly. The ninja feel like they had won, but in reality, they hadn't, because Garmadon had gotten away. Garmadon had finally succeeded, and the reason Garmadon succeeded was because it was the only thing that Ninjago would be saved. That's the only way Ninjago would be saved. I absolutely love it when the writers do that. They set up a scenario where, something bad has to happen in order for something good to happen. So I really love the way that Ninjago writers do that. Anyway, so the focus character, there was no focus character of this season, and this is the very first season. Obviously, it is the first season to not have a focus character, and I like that because each ninja had their own focus. I could say that you could argue that Zane had a pretty big role. He had 3 focus episodes: Can of Worms, Home, and TikTok. and he got a lot of development as we got to learn where he came from and his backstory, and we also got to see who his father was and, how he got raised and stuff. Lloyd is also a child throughout the season, and it's pretty funny to see him go from being a bratty little villain to, a still bratty little kid. So that was really cool. Garmadon plays a more protagonist role in this season, but the overarching plot is that he's still evil and he's still doing his own stuff. He returns just to save Lloyd, but after that he's back to his evil ways, having stolen the golden weapons again. The Serpentine are pretty cool villains. They have a lot of backstory. Most of the time, some of them are really incompetent, but I love their powers, and I love the way that they, are developed throughout the show. Pythor is the main antagonist of the season, and I think I could safely say that this is my favorite season for Pythor. Pythor is really cool in this season, very cunning and mischievous, and I really like that because it's very different for a Ninjago villain. And Pythor was never really the same again after this. He was pretty cool in Season 3 and Season 4, but he was never the same as he was in Season 1. So yeah, overall, Rise of the Snakes was an amazing season. It was definitely the golden age for Ninjago. The plot was pretty good, it was your typical plot. These villains have to collect these artifacts in order to release Doomsday and stuff. But when it comes down to it, I think I would give Rise of the Snakes a solid 8.5 out of 10 points. It's a really awesome season. It is the golden age of Ninjago. It truly is. So yeah, that's going to wrap up this video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this retrospect review, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, share it to anyone ever you know, and I will see you next time.